Hi everyone, it's Kay Carley here, and today I'm super excited because I finally get to share with you my 2018 Christmas stamp release for PaperArtsy. Now, very quickly, I'm just going to give you a quick tour of what we have, which is 3 stamp sets and 3 matching stencils. Now you can see that all of them are quite different, but they all work together really well. So that's a very brief overview there of what we have. So I'm going to go back to the first one, which is number 21, and you can see that this is based on poinsettias. Now, as always, as you'd expect with PaperArtsy, beautiful detail to the stamps, really lovely deep red rubber. Now, I have purposely designed these with the thought of being able to do more than one thing with them. So we have got 2 different sizes of flowers, as you can see, and yes, you can use these individually if you want. So you could have just this one stamped, or you can just stamp that one, or it's been sized so that this one can go on top of this one and make a beautiful dimensional flower. Our leaves have been stamped or designed so that they will go to the left or to the right, as you quite often hear me saying with all of the compositions that I do. And then we've got a really lovely border stamp as well. Now, you might have noticed with the stencil when I showed it briefly that we have also got the matching counterparts. So we've got the masks as well as the actual stencil. So these come actually within the stencil itself. All you need to do is just snip those out with a little pair of sharp scissors, and then you've got your matching masks. Now you will notice that mine have got little stars on them. Now I do that for 2 reasons. With the masks, it's so that I can work out which is the front, which is the back. So it's quite often if you try popping it onto your stamped image this way, you're never going to get it to line up because it's the wrong way round. So that's a nice easy way of being able to work out which side is the correct side. And you might notice as well, it's got a little bit blurred, there we go, that I have got a little piece of tape over those stars just to protect it so that when I'm cleaning it won't actually end up coming off. So you can see that my petals correspond with the petals of the actual stencil itself. Now they've been marked so that when we take our stamped image and we stamp it out, it can then be quite hard to work out which petal relates to which part of the stamped image. So you can see I've just marked again with just a permanent black pen, little star, so that I now know if I stamp it out this way round, which I tend to do, I tend to have it then orientated this way when I stamp it, so that I then know with my stencil that it will immediately line up. Now the stencil's been sized so that it will absolutely match the stamped counterpart. Now quite often when I'm stamping, I like to stencil my colour first and then stamp my image over the top, because I don't mind if it doesn't match up perfectly. But if you want it absolutely precise, then of course you can use your stamping platform and simply do it the other way. So you would stamp your image, then pop your stencil over the top, apply your colour, and then re-stamp, obviously using a stamping platform throughout. Now these little bits here and here are the middles, just your middles to your flowers. So that's what they're for. So if I show you this stamp part here, you can see that you've got this funny little shape here, So that is what this funny little shape matches to. Then we've also got some snowflakes on this stamp set. Now this is for a reason, and I will come back to that a bit later, or in a separate video, but that's a little overview there of that particular stamp set. So now moving on to EKC 22, and you can see that this is all bauble related, and you might immediately notice that these are actually plain baubles. Now I've done that for a specific reason, because it's going to offer you more versatility to this stamp. So if you've already got a decoration in there, you're stuck with it, but if it's plain, it means you can then decide what you want to decorate your bauble with. So it enables you to have a great range of all different baubles. You can stamp it onto pattern paper, you can stamp it onto a background that you've created, you can stamp corresponding stamps into it. It's just going to give you a much larger range of being able to create so many more different Christmas cards than if you have a decorated bauble. Then again, we have got our matching stencil, and you have your mask counterparts, as you can see again, that I've taken out already, and I've popped my little star on each of my baubles so that I know which side is the right side. This holly flourish doesn't perfectly match the holly flourish that is on the stamp set itself, but it does give you a lovely background, and it will provide depth as well behind your stamped holly flourish if you so wish. The baubles, however, do match exactly, so you can do exactly the same thing with these as you can with the poinsettia stamps. Then lastly, we have EKC 23. You can see that this is very much snowflake orientated. So we have got our large snowflake, a slightly smaller one, and then a smaller one again. And what you can do with this is actually make then a dimensional snowflake if you so want to, just by layering these up, if you have the patience, of course. You also have got the word snow. Now snow has been designed so that you have room to snip between these letters if you want, which means you can then stamp them individually. So you can see here I've just snipped between them, but I've left the tabs as they were, so that if I then want to line it all back up perfectly onto my acrylic block and stamp it as it was originally meant to be, then I've got that option, and I know then that it's going to all be straight and lined up. And of course we have got our dear little snowman in here. Now he has been sized so that he will actually fit inside the O. His body is completely the right size to go within here, and he will also fit inside the W so that he sits on here. Plus he's also a great size for a bauble in his own little right if you want a snowman shaped bauble. Then our matching stencil, as you would expect by now, this snow word absolutely perfectly matches the snow stamp. Then we have got our snowflakes, absolutely perfect for backgrounds. I've used this so much. And that is it. That is then the entire collection from me for 2018 for PaperArtsy. Now, just before I go, I just wanted to show you that although they are very different sort of stamp sets in their own right, they also make, or can also be used, I should say, very much together. So I've just brought in this card here, so we can see I've got the snowflakes here from number 23. You can see I've got background snowflake going on behind the poinsettia. I've also got the poinsettia from 21, so I've turned it into a hanging poinsettia. We've got the baubles from the bauble stamp set number 22. got the Snowflake Swirl from number 23, and then I've used the little snowflake stencil from the poinsettia, matching poinsettia stencil, just to decorate my baubles with. So that is using stamps from all 3 of the collections, and you can see it works really well together. And here's another one. So again, you can see how I've decorated those baubles. This little fella here, he sits perfectly within all 3 of the baubles. So again, he was sized so that he would. You can see I've taken the snowflakes from the snowflake stamp set. We've got the holly flourish from the baubles, and we have also got subtle background stamping going on of that holly flourish too. Now, if I get this to catch the light, you will see that it's full of sparkle, because obviously people that know me know that I like a little bit of glitter, and especially at Christmas time, so very much obligatory to have sparkle at Christmas. So that just gives you a little overview there of my 2018 stamp release. They are now available from PaperArtsy stockists and from my own website www.kaycarley.com.